Y'all, there is a plethora of lizards and birds that live on my porch, so we got to make this quick. Is it gone? Okay. Nope, it's still here. Yep, so the porch won't let me be great, so we have to switch locations. To the garage we go. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about letting things go, because this is by far the most difficult thing for me to do ever in life, is to let things go, because I hold, like, not necessarily grudges, but I hold on to things way too long when the people that were involved in the situation, or even things that are involved in the situation, like they're long gone or they've moved on or whatever the case may be, and I'm still holding on to them. I tend to unfortunately have an emotional attachment to literally everything, and that could be like people, it could be places, it could be stuffed animals, it could be t-shirts, like it's anything. Like I'm literally teeter-tottering on the borderline between like a hoarder, because a lot of the things that I hold on to I have an emotional attachment to them, and it's hard for me to just let it go or just to get rid of it. So my main issue when it comes to letting things go is that I tend to talk a lot, like to myself, saying that, oh, I'm over this, I'm not gonna think about it anymore, I'm good, when I'm really not. Which is like, I believe that's what like a lot of us tend to do, is that we kind of like try to pep talk ourselves up into like thinking that we're over the situation when we're really not, which is not a good thing. You shouldn't lie to yourself, because all that's doing is hindering your growth and your healing process. So typically when it comes to me and beginning my process of letting things go, that's always the first step for me, is to kind of like lie to myself a little bit and say, oh, I'm over this, you know, we're not gonna worry about it, we're gonna get through it, it's gonna be great. And even though I say I'm over it, I tend to do what mostly everyone in this generation does, is social media stalk. I am very bad at social media stalking, because I will say that I'm over it to everyone else, and then I'm constantly on my phone checking Snapchats, checking Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be, of this person to see what they're doing. You know, have they moved on? You know, am I the one? You know, just anything. I just always kept constantly like checking on them. And then another telltale sign that I have once again lied to myself about being over a situation is that not only am I social media stalking them, I am constantly thinking about it. Like every other 5 to 10 minutes, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know, getting in my feelings about the situation, you know, and it's literally consuming my mind all the time, which is not good, which means that I'm not over it. Like I said, continuing to lie to yourself is not a good idea. Don't do that. So for me personally, it's a lot easier to let a situation go if I know for a fact it's not my fault. Like if something happened between me and my friends, or relationship wise, and I know for a fact that it ended and it had nothing to do with me, that's a lot more easier for me to let go, because I'm not gonna have anything to hold on to at that point. It's kind of like, you know, if you wanted to walk out of my life, I can let you kind of walk out of my life. But when it comes to situations where I feel like it's my fault or it's semi my fault, that takes a lot more time for me to kind of let go and kind of accept what happened and to move on from it. I am literally my own worst critic, y'all. Like I beat myself up constantly over the smallest things. Like literally in any situation I've ever been in, I am more harder on myself than the people are that was involved in the situation are on me. Like a lot of times what tends to happen is that like with any situation, I'll overthink it. I'm a big overthinker of a lot of things, because I'm such a creative person that I tend to overthink things sometimes, which is what happens in a lot of situations, that I'll overthink it. I think that the person hates me, or you know, that I'm just this horrible person. I constantly always call myself this ugly bitch, you know, just all types of just horrible negative things that I tend to call myself and to make myself feel bad. And then when I was younger, and sometimes now, I tend to go to that dark place of having suicidal thoughts as well, because of how bad I'm making my own self feel, which is not good at all. Like I said, if you are doing that, I completely understand how you're feeling, but you should not do that. That's not a healthy place to be in. Definitely don't beat yourself up. Don't overthink overthink the situation, because I know it's pretty bad, or it seems pretty bad, but it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. So now that I have discussed my issues and everything else, I'm going to share with you guys some tips that I have learned over the years on how to let things go, or if it's like a little easier to let things go. Some of this I got from the internet, and then some things I actually do myself as well. So we're just gonna make a little mesh up of a list here, and yeah, let's get started. So step one that I have always done since as long as I can remember when I'm trying to let go of a person or a situation is to delete everything, delete the person from your life, like delete it all. And that means like delete their number, delete them from social media. Like don't make it easy to get in contact with that person or to see that person. So that's why I said if you are friends with them on social media, unfriend them. You don't have to necessarily block them unless you just want to, but definitely unfriend them, delete their number. I know if you have an iPhone, you have to go that extra step because you can delete the number, but if you are constantly texting that person, it can still pop up. So make sure that you try to eliminate any form of access to this person's number or anything. Just get rid of it all. The next step is to get rid of anything that reminds you of that person. That could be a stuffed animal, an item of clothing, anything that y'all did together that they gave you, just anything that like reminds you of that person. Get rid of it, because I know I had a situation once where the hair that I was wearing had something to do with the person, so I had to take the hair out. You know, I've had pictures, you know, stuffed animals, you know, just get rid of those things. If it's clothing, I know I'm gonna have to go to Goodwill later on this week to get rid of some clothing, because every time I would look at it, it would take me to that place of whatever happened with that person, and I don't want to be in that, you know, position anymore. I said in 2017 I was gonna be a lot happier, a lot at peace. So like I said, anything, just get rid of it, take it away, burn it. I don't care what you do, but definitely get rid of it. Don't let it be in your sight. Don't have like fingertip access to it. Now, this next step is something that I am trying to introduce to start doing in my life, because I haven't been doing this, but I went on Google and saw a few tips and thought this was a really good idea to do. Only allow yourself short periods of time to dwell on the situation. So if you are, let's just say that you're at work or you're at school or whatever the case may be, and you're starting to think about the situation, only allow yourself a certain amount of time to think about it. So if you want to give yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever is good for you, only allow yourself that amount of time to think about that situation, and then after that, don't think about it anymore. Go do something else, I don't know, but just don't think about it anymore. Only allow yourself short periods of time, and then from there you will start to see that you're not thinking about it as much. Okay, so my fourth tip is to keep yourself busy. I think that's like the main tip that everyone gives out when it comes to letting things go or moving on from a breakup or whatever the case may be. Keep busy. Find something else to occupy your mind, to occupy your time. I know in the past few years now that I have been losing friends, losing relationships, things like that, it has honestly been the best time for me to be creative, because y'all, the stupid bumblebee came back. It is coming for me. I have to wrap this up, y'all. I'm gonna have to wrap this up. But yeah, like I was saying, keep busy. During the time that I have lost a lot of my friends, things like that, it has allowed me to be more creative. I have been able to do YouTube the way that I want to because of me losing all of my friends. I've been able to be more creative musically, just all types of things to keep myself occupied and busy. Right now, I'm actively trying to save money to move this year. So like I said, keep yourself busy. Like get back in touch with whatever you was doing prior to this relationship or this friendship or whatever the case may be that was making you happy. And the last thing is pray. I'm not quite sure if all of you guys are religious or what your religious views are, but praying is definitely a good way to try to move on from the situation. I know that I started to feel 10 times better the moment that I just kind of let go and let God with it. I just kind of prayed and said, God, could you please remove these feelings, this anxiety, this depression, all of this. I just kind of said, please remove this from my heart and let me heal and move on. And I swear the moment I did that, it started to like get better for me. But yeah, I hope that this video made sense, you guys. Sorry that I keep running around, because outside, y'all, I don't do things that sting. I don't do that. I will run. I will leave you, as you will see, or as you saw. If y'all have any tips or suggestions or anything like that to add to my list of how to move on on, to let things go, definitely leave those things down below. Let's have a chit chat as always. You know that we're all friends here. This is a safe place, judgment-free zone, you know, all of that good stuff. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Drop some advice. You know, let's help each other out. We are a big community here. I'm so sorry I was MIA for a month, but it was for a good reason. I promise it was for a good reason. But I am coming back. I got some reviews for y'all. I got some more good videos, so stay tuned. But yeah, comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.